Welcome to Frederick at its best. I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So today we're taking the opportunity to raise awareness for the victims and survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse in Frederick County. Domestic violence is unfortunately a common offense, but many people really aren't aware of its prevalence. Domestic violence is defined as a pattern of coercive behavior characterized by the domination and control of one person over the other. It usually involves an intimate partner, and it can be physical, psychological, emotional, verbal, sexual, or economic abuse. Of all domestic violence victims, 85% are women, and most are abused by their husbands or their boyfriends. Teenage, pregnant, and disabled women are especially vulnerable. And even though most victims are women, men can be victims too. For the year from July 2014 to June 2015, 42 people in Maryland lost their lives as a result of domestic violence, according to the Maryland Network Against Domestic Violence. 60% of American adults know a victim of domestic violence or sexual assault. 70% of women who have experienced domestic violence have told someone about it, but more than half of that number say that even though they've told someone, no one has helped them. These are certainly upsetting statistics and facts. But the good news is that there are many organizations and good people who stand ready to help. Hartley House in particular is committed to achieving a society free of violence, and they do this by providing education, working for the equality and empowerment of all people, and developing and maintaining comprehensive services for victims and non-offending family members who are victims of family violence, rape, sexual assault, and child abuse. According to Hartley House, an estimated 30,000 women in Frederick County will experience a form of domestic violence in their lifetimes, and I just find that to be absolutely staggering. Hartley House receives over 1,200 calls a month, or about 14,000 calls annually, from county residents over the 24-hour crisis hotline. In Frederick, there's an average of 2 or 3 homicides due to intimate partner violence every year. Again, a terrible statistic. Every call to Hartley House has its own story, and no two stories are alike. Some need emergency shelter, and Hartley House responds, providing shelter to hundreds of adults and children who are trying to escape a dangerous situation. Others may be victims of sexual assault. And in collaboration with local law enforcement, the Frederick Memorial Hospital, Hartley House advocates, provides comfort and support to many adults and children going through the sexual assault forensic exam. Hartley House and many other professionals in this field will stress the signs of domestic violence. Common signs of an abusive relationship include one or both partners preventing contact and communication with friends or family, basically isolating someone, controlling money, causing embarrassment with bad names and put-downs, being critical about survivors' appearance or their behavior, having unrealistic expectations of them, like requiring their partners to be available at all times, threatening to take away or harm children, destroying property or threatening to harm pets, intimidating with guns, knives, or other weapons, physical violence, shoving, slapping, choking, hitting, forcing sexual acts, and threatening to commit suicide. Understanding common occurrences or patterns in an unhealthy relationship and being able to begin an informed conversation with those who want to help is a major step to healing and helping others to join in understanding why and how domestic violence occurs. In addition to Hartley House, law enforcement is also there to help. The Frederick County Sheriff's Office has a victim services unit, and the unit informs citizens that under the Maryland Constitution and state laws, a victim of crime must be treated with dignity, respect, and sensitivity during the whole criminal justice process. You can find out more information by contacting the local police or the Sheriff's Office, which you can find through the county webpage, and there you can find the victim services information. You can also find information how to report a crime, obtain a peace order or protective order, file claims, and a list of other resources. And I know you'll hear more about the Child Advocacy Center that provides young victims and witnesses with a comfortable and discreet place to meet with Child Protective Service employees while police watch from another room. So I'll read the proclamation, but I do want to make one point. I think it's important for those of us to play a role in trying to reduce domestic violence. I've actually had somebody call me and tell me that they were concerned that there was domestic violence occurring at their neighbor's home. And they called me and said, what should I do? And I said, well, first of all, you should call the police. And they said, well, we were afraid we'd make it worse. And I said, you can't make it worse. You need to call the police. And you can call the hotline and get advice, and you can help your neighbor also call the hotline to get advice. So I think it is up to all of us to protect the people around us. People do need help, and we all can play a role in helping people get that help. So I'd like to read the proclamation. Whereas domestic violence is a serious crime that affects people of all races, ages, gender, and income levels, and where 1 in 4 women will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. The effects of violence reach far beyond its victims and perpetrators, causing disruption in our schools, places of worship, workplace, and neighborhoods. And whereas Frederick County remains dedicated to eradicating domestic violence and helping victims find the compassion, comfort, and healing they need. And whereas during Domestic Violence Month, we underscore the county's commitment to ending domestic violence and ensuring that victims find the professional support they need. We want to commend the many organizations and individuals in our community, both professional and volunteer, who provide critical advocacy, services, and assistance to victims and survivors of domestic violence 24 hours a day. And whereas Hartley House has provided comprehensive services to victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse in Frederick County for over 35 years. We encourage our citizens to learn more about the services Hartley House offers and to use these services to prevent further abuse and violence. Now, therefore, as the County Executive of Frederick County, Maryland, I hereby proclaim the month of October 2016 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Frederick County and commend this observance to all of our citizens. And I'd like to pass the microphone, and I think I'm going to go this way first and let you all add the important information that you have.
Thank you very much. I'm the President and Executive Director of Hartley House. My name is Inga James. And what I want to say is that for those at highest risk, what we know is if they can get any kind of services, it will greatly reduce their risk level, greatly reduce the incidence of death or lethality. So if you know of somebody who is suffering from domestic violence, urge them to call Hartley House or their local law enforcement agency and get the help that they need. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Teresa Hegel, and I'm with the Victim Services Unit out of the Frederick County Sheriff's Office. Thank you for doing this today. Of course, if anybody has any general questions or concerns, they can always call the general main non-emergency line at the Frederick County Sheriff's Office and also reach out to Hartley House. But I just want everybody to know that I do exist, and if anybody needs any services or assistance, to please contact me. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Pamela Holtzinger. I am the Forensic Nurse Program Coordinator at Frederick Memorial Hospital, where we have expanded our services to include response to domestic violence victims. And we work collaboratively with all the agencies, including the Child Advocacy Center, where I also work as a forensic nurse examiner there, as well as with Hartley House and the local law enforcement agencies.
Jennifer Veith from the Child Advocacy Center of Frederick County.
I'm Jennifer Newcomer. I'm representing Alpha Chi Omega out of Elon University. Our philanthropy is domestic violence awareness, and I'm also a survivor of domestic violence as well. So thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nina Carr, and I'm the Outreach and Volunteer Coordinator at Hartley House. I definitely want to say that prevention can start early in preventing these issues from happening to teens, to young families, and even our elder citizens. We have a great event coming up this weekend on the 8th called Walk a Mile in Her Shoes, where men will walk through downtown Frederick in high heel shoes and raise awareness about domestic violence. So check out our website, our Facebook page, and learn more about it.
Hi, I'm Shannon Jones, Crisis Services Director at Hartley House.
Hi, I'm Elise Wong. I'm a crisis worker and safe advocate at Hartley House.
Hi, I'm Brooke Amolka. I'm the staff attorney at Hartley House.
Hi, I'm Lee Wisner, and I just want to comment that it's comforting knowing that we have Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Frederick County, and great resources for folks that need it, and I'm just proud that we have those resources.
Hi, my name is Mary Lee. That is my first and last name. I'm here representing the Human Relations Commission and the Commission on Disabilities. We are here to support Hartley House and the proclamation for the Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Although I have not been a victim of domestic violence, it has been something that has been near and dear to me for someone that has in my circle. And for me, of course, one is too many. And so the advocacy that you all do, the service that you provide is greatly needed. And as people have others have said, if you have that problem or know that someone has a problem, please reach out.
Okay. I really want to thank all of you for being here today. And I want to really recognize all of our county partners for the work they do to support victims of domestic violence. I really salute you. I appreciate the good work that you do to help other people. I think it's a tough job, but it's an important job in our community. And we really want to pay tribute to people who have dedicated their profession and their time to helping others, and the volunteers as well. So my message to the public is, if you or someone you know is experiencing the kind of abuse we're talking about today and needs immediate assistance, please call 911. You can also call your local law enforcement agency, which may be the city police or the sheriff's office. You can call the Hartley House 24-hour emergency hotline, which is 301-662-8800. They can provide emergency shelter, counseling, legal assistance. They really can provide the whole scope and wealth of services that you may need. It's important, as we recognize Domestic Violence Awareness Month, that we do recognize that we all have responsibilities to our neighbors and to making sure that we live in a safe and peaceful community. Thank you for joining us today.